Hi, welcome to the beginning of a series of gameplay videos recorded at D14 Airsoft for their BB Wars event, sponsored by Airsoft GI. Now, before we get into too much of the video, I wanted to give some constructive feedback in case anyone from D14 or Airsoft GI sees these videos about ways you could probably improve your events going forward. First off, camping. Please make camping information available. I had a almost 4-hour drive to get to the event, so I would have preferred to have camped at the field. When I registered, the registration page at Airsoft GI said contact D14. I looked at D14's Facebook page, there was nothing there. I contacted them through Instagram and they said it's the pinned post on their Facebook page has camping information. And there was no pinned post on their Facebook page. I even got another person to look and confirm it. Having the camping information easily accessible would be really nice. Next thing, please publish a start time for the event. The postings on Airsoft GI where you're registered, it said that the event would start once everyone's through chronograph. It didn't give me any idea of when that would actually be, and I didn't want to go through all of the cost of the event, the cost of gas to drive out there, the motel, basically burning a couple days of my time to get out there the night before. I'd like to know when it's actually going to start so I can get there on time and I don't miss it. So please, publish a start time. Next, please start on time. When I was there, if I remember right, at 10:08 a.m., you announced a 15-minute warning. Then 16 minutes later, you announced a 10-minute warning. And it was several other warnings got called out, but it was basically 45 minutes between the 15-minute warning and people actually going out to get on the field. Like, if you're going to have a times, and you should, please actually stick to them. Because like some of the other people in the background you'll see, were getting annoyed waiting just like I was. Chronographing. Now, according to Airsoft GI's registration, the 0-foot minimum engagement distance was for pistols and submachine guns that had certain length requirements. They had to be short, and they had to have a folding or wire stock. And they had to be shooting under 350 feet per second with 0.2 gram BBs, and for chrono purposes, and that they couldn't be shooting heavier BBs than .28s. When I got to the field, got to the chronograph, nobody said anything about the heavy BBs to me again, which would have been nice. My gun ended up, according to the guy running the chrono, I didn't see the chronograph, shot 357, which was 5 FPS over that limit. And the ref said something like, I'll give it to you anyways. Don't do that. If the limit's 350 and somebody's over 350, they're over the limit. Whether it's 350.1 or 357 or 400, if they're over the limit, the answer should be no. In addition, what I was using was an AR-15 that didn't have a folding or wire stock, and according to the published rules, I couldn't have a 0-foot minimum engagement distance, but they were getting marked that way anyways. So the published rules didn't actually match what was happening at the chrono. I don't know if that's a training issue with that particular ref, but that's something you could fix in the future. Next up on the safety briefs and introduction, well, two things. It'd be nice if you mentioned minimum engagement distances on that, which I don't think were covered. But more importantly, please mention respawn rules. What was mentioned is how to medic someone, and the rules for medicing somebody. You could only be medicked once. It's the main thing, and anybody can do the medic by just touching the guy and counting to 10. But nobody said how you respawn other than the medic rules. And like just chatting about people, what most people did is assume that after you were shot, you just walk back to your starting point and then instantly you're back into the game. From a game playing perspective, yes, this is nice to keep people able to play. it would have been nicer if you hadn't have a ref there and just respawn at like 15-minute marks instead of constantly. That way one team can potentially get fire superiority and they have a little extra time to do that. But anyways, the way respawns are going to happen really should have been explained at the safety brief, not like just random players talking amongst themselves and deciding how they're going to do it. So please add that to your safety brief. Also, I'm not sure how you'd accomplish this, but there was significant drug use at this event. And Airsoft, I don't know what the minimum age for this was. I think it was 10, it might have been 12. There were definitely minors running around. And there was also guys smoking pot. And from what I heard, the stories about the camping the previous night, there was quite a bit of alcohol use. And I can understand wanting to have fun and relax, but at least the day of gameplay, you know, if you've got, kids are the future of Airsoft, you know, we've got to take care of them because people like me get old and we'll stop playing when we get old enough. So you kind of need that pipeline of new players coming in. And if little Timmy's mommy is smelling marijuana in the staging area at lunch, like I did, she may decide that this is not a safe, wholesome activity for little Timmy, and Airsoft just lost a player. So if you can somehow police up the drug use, that would be great. Okay, let's get on to the gameplay. Forgot to mention this. It would also be nice if you guys can be a little stricter about enforcing uniform rules. This game said basically one faction, the Imperials, were supposed to be wearing camo. The other faction was supposed to be wearing civilian attire. You kind of run into some gray areas there, and frequently happen is you'd see somebody who's wearing like jeans and a camo shirt, or more frequently a plain colored shirt and camo pants. Or sometimes guys who are wearing not camo, but like my hat, natural colors that looked sort of like they should have been a uniform. And it just like wasn't clear which side somebody was on when they're only wearing half camo, or if they're wearing solid tactical colors, if that's supposed to be civilian attire or not. That definitely caused some confusion on the field.